Hello there friends, Season is live here. In today's video, Ropz is joining Vitality, almost officially. Coldzera is spilling the secrets of the old esports scene. A very well-known YouTube investigating journalist spilled a lot of things about shady CS2 roulette schemes. And much more exciting news from the world of CS2, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. And I think, my friends, we shall start with something truly fantastic. So, in one of our previous videos, we talked about a guy who unboxed one of the cleanest skins in the game and showed how a dragon lore was crafted during a major final. Well, guys, you know, dragon lore is one of the most important, recognizable and expensive skins in the whole game. And so, yeah, recently this dude called Sparkles crafted a dragon lore with the cleanest float ever recorded. This particular skin has a float value with 4 zeros and 5 after a decimal point, making it the cleanest dragon lore in existence. Not only it's exceptionally clean, okay, the visuals, it's not the most important thing, it's just the #1 float in CS2. So it's, I guess, the most desirable dragon lore for all collectors. However, crafting this masterpiece came at a cost, so Sparkles had to trade in 9 M4A1S's Knights, including 2 with the #1 and #2 floats, as well as 1 M4A1S Blue Phosphor with the #1 float, which is a lot of money, I should say. For context, the starting price for one OP Dragon Lore of medium range is around $12,000. As for this particular specimen, well guys, its value is impossible to estimate. I mean, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, $100,000? No idea. You can drop your suggestions about skins in the comments below. And yeah, speaking about money, guess what? Or rather, who is worth an even more jaw-dropping amount of money? That's right, it's Magnojez. In our previous video, we mentioned that Ilya won't be joining Falcons, but recently someone leaked that the Sheiks decided to pay $3 million for Ilya, which is, well, a lot. If it had happened, it would have been the biggest transfer of all time. According to Sponge, G2 refused to let go of Ilya even with that kind of cash. For reference, that's about the same as the buyout price for Simple's contract with NaVi, but no one's gonna buy out Simple, right? Here, I also want to remind you that this deal falling through caused Jimmphat to decline joining Falcons. If you didn't know that, just check out our previous video. And also guys, don't forget to follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with all the hottest esports news. And now, my friends, I have something to surprise you. I mean, not me, but Nell, the insider. You might have thought that Falcons coming into the new season will spend a lot of cash on star players, but turns out they won't. Guys, just listen to it. So Nell reports that Falcons want Jambo from Passion UA and ex-SAW player Jorks. Nell says that this is the new strategy. I mean, my friends, I'm speechless, honestly. I mean, now imagine this. Niko signed a contract in August or in September or whatever, and he came to the team wanting a stellar squad with like Magnojez, Simple, Jimmphat, whatever. Because it's Falcons, because they can afford it. But basically it turns out that they won't. And Niko is left with Magisk and 3 rookies. Because reportedly this is the new strategy of Zonic. The new plan of the great and only Danny Sorensen. Oh my god, I mean, poor Niko, he will never get a major, right? I don't even know what to say about it, just do it for me in the comments below. Holy cow, the 2025 season will be legendary, because we've got a lot of reshuffles coming on. First, let's talk about Simple, whose contract is nearing its end, the next year. And Thorin recently weighed in on this matter. In Thorin's opinion, it would be a mistake for NaVi's management to let a player of Simple's caliber go easily. Despite his recent dip in performance, Simple remains one of the strongest players in the game, and I honestly agree with Thorin here. He also pointed out that if a top-tier team from Europe, for example, loses key players, signing Simple could bring hope and a renewed sense of purpose, which is invaluable for team morale. Spoiler alert, we will come back to this a little later, but regarding Thorin's words, I mean, on one one hand, he had sense, on the other, as we've seen with Falcons, not even a star player can guarantee success. But let's be honest, their morale was already at rock bottom when the roster was assembled. So maybe in the end, Thorin is right. As we recently mentioned, Jimmphat, the young, talented mouse player, is back to surprise everyone. While creating his perfect map pool, he decided to throw a curveball by including maps from the hostage rescue mode. Yes, Italy. Guys, would you like to see Italy be played on majors? Or it will be like perma-banned or something. Anyways, Jimmphat's ideal map pool includes Cache, Overpass, Nuke, Train, Inferno and Mirage. And Italy, obviously. And you know what? Despite the humor in his choice, the lineup looks pretty intriguing, and hit the like button if you want Cache and Overpass back. Because I do, and I will hit the like button as well. And now, my guys, to the banger itself. Speaking of team changes, guess who's about to switch teams for free? I think you already know. Ropz. Because when HLTV together with Nel says that Ropz will join Vitality, I mean it's like 97% correct. I repeat again, Ropz will join Vitality instead of Spinks. Honestly, this isn't the first time FaZe dropped the ball. Last year, the same thing happened with Twist, who ended up moving to Liquid just because his contract expired, and here the same thing goes for Ropz. And I also remind you that Vitality earlier snagged Flames for free. Swan even called them the kings of free transfers. Now back to Ropz and Vitality. So according to sources, he's set to replace Spinks. There were already rumors about Spinks leaving the team, but no one knew who'd take his place. This move also opens up exciting opportunities for Flames, who will take on the full role of the rotation player. Given their playstyles, Ropz and Flames will complement each other well, and I'm super excited to see what will Vitality bring in the upcoming season. But you know what, guys? Interestingly, Ropz might even get more ops. Yeah, I know, Zaivu is officially the team's sniper, but he's been spending more and more time rifling recently. And you know, with the whole AK and M4 meta, I mean, it's really possible. Imagine the new tactic, no ops in attack. Anyways, also fans have dug up some 3-year-old tweets speculating that Ropz would join Vitality. Neo, the CEO of Vitality, even joked back then, asking if Ropz would join the roster in 2025. Looks like he might have been onto something, or maybe it was all part of the master plan. As for FaZe Clan, the hunt for Robin's replacement is already on. Insiders claim their shortlist includes Fame from VP, and Jim has reportedly suggested signing Spinks in return. Or guys, why even think of it? You just go to Mouse and sign anyone from there, just like FaZe always did. Anyways, my friends, we're just here to wait and see the official announcements. And I have a fan theory here for you. Imagine if Falcons sign 3 players from FaZe. They will get the number 8 spot on HLTV rankings as well as Valve's rankings, and FaZe will get a lot of money, a win-win situation. But honestly, I don't believe it will happen. Speaking of roster changes, we can't skip the news that Regan has officially left BIG, leaving the Swiss player without a team once again. To recap, he played for the German org for like 6 months. During this period, BIG managed to qualify for a major with a 3-0, but then they fell short. Still, Regan might not be the only change for the German squad. Saracen's contract is nearing the end, and rumors suggest he might also be replaced. Unfortunately, and obviously, Saracen hasn't been delivering the performance the team needs recently, which could prompt BIG to make another adjustment soon. New details also emerged about Cloud9, so there were rumors that Magnojez would join the team, taking Interz's spot. However, the player himself denied all of it. He said he intends to stay with BB team. For context, Zorte also recently declined an offer from VP, leaving Cloud9 still on the hunt for 2 new players. Thankfully for Inters, there are no roster changes planned for Cloud9 at the moment, at least according to rumors, so he can rest easy. Speaking of new teams, next year will bring fresh faces to Tier 1 tournaments, among them Imperial Female, who have secured a spot at IEM Katowice thanks to the Valve rankings. Currently at 24th place, they're on track to qualify for the year's first huge event, without much trouble honestly if they keep this momentum. It's also worth noting that Imperial female is set to participate in the first Blast bounty, and that's pretty much official. Keep an eye on them guys, they're making waves in the competitive scene. And yeah, since we're talking about Brazil, at least in some sense, it's impossible not to mention one of the region's greatest players, Coldzera. He recently shared a fascinating story from the 2016 major. Well, we basically knew all of that, but he underlined some important things and compared to what we have now. So according to Coldzera himself, after the semifinals of the 2016 major, many tier 1 players decided to ask how SK Gaming were playing so well. In response, the Brazilian squad invited them to a bar where they drank cachaça, if I pronounce it correctly, a strong Brazilian liquor often called Brazilian rum. Around 20 players showed up, including Olaf Meister, as well as members of Astralis and Ninjas in Pyjamas. So these pros hung out until like 4 AM before SK headed back to get some rest for the finals. Yeah, my bros, on the eve of the final match. And as history shows, they went on to dominate Liquid 2-0. I mean, drunken masters, right? Just to be clear, guys, don't drink, that's honestly bad. Interestingly, Coldzera also mentioned that after this legendary night out, it became much harder for SK to play against the teams whose players were in the bar. Seems like bonding over cachaça had some unintended side effects. Then Coldzera said that these days, players are pure professionals, supposedly meaning that they only get drunk at the after parties, not before the grand finals of a major. Now let's talk about something dark, really dark. So there's this YouTube investigator CoffeeZilla. He recently delved into the shady world of CS-related online casinos and roulette sites. He basically wanted to highlight one huge issue. Most of the users of such online casinos with CS2 skins are underage. They're pretty much kids getting hooked on casinos. This early exposure to gambling often leads to serious addictions that many struggle to overcome in their adulthood. Another major concern here is the lack of verification on such sites. Without proper age checks, anyone, no matter how young, can access and play. And unfortunately, shutting down these sites is difficult since they operate legally in countries where gambling is permitted, like Malta, Cyprus, and all that. Adding fuel to the fire are influencers and streamers who promote such websites. Despite knowing that they're introducing young audiences to gambling, they continue to do it just because they want payouts. Interestingly, there's this guy Monarch who is basically known for his performance during the Copenhagen Major. He owns a similar casino and I won't name it, and just don't Google it because all casinos suck, but he is, according to his words, actively working against illegal competitors who exploit users. It could be a rare case of someone in the industry trying to clean up the mess, but honestly, I don't really believe him. PSA, casinos are bad, gambling is bad, don't do it guys. And now to wrap things up on the positive note, let's add some Christmas vibe to the mix. There is a snowy version of Dust 2 in the workshop, courtesy of Josh Makes Games. This guy is known for his amazing custom maps, and this one is pretty fun. I really advise you to play it. It's basically the old and familiar Dust 2, but in a winter wonderland. Snow, Christmas trees, gifts, and all that. It's really fun to play. Yeah, Merry Christmas, dear friends, whoever celebrates. Time to spread some holiday cheer, even in the middle of a match. Dear Santa, I really want for all my followers and viewers to have a really cool 2025. Please, Santa, give them as much elo as they like, let their favorite teams win, and all that, so they could stay positive throughout the year. I really honestly mean it. Yours truly and sincerely, CS News Live. My friends, I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.